What's up, family? I am back. Alright, so I said I was gonna start making some videos regarding like a modding series to help people out with modding once I finish my College Hoops update. Update is out, released, done, and complete. So let's go ahead and get these videos popping. Alright, so what I wanted to do initially was create like this like master class, like modding class, to kind of talk about different aspects of modding. But as I thought about it, I didn't think it was a good way to do it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be creating a overhaul mod for NBA 2K. And the reason I want to do an overhaul is because by me doing that, as we progress through each step of changing all this different stuff for an overhaul mod, you'll pick up a bunch of different stuff. Like you'll learn how to do jerseys, courts, arenas, all of that stuff. That's versus me just making random videos. This is how you make courts, and then I'm trying to show you how to make courts, but I'll show you how to put them with a team. That just get a little bit confusing. So I figure if I do it in this fashion, as we progress and do video after video after video, you'll be picking up different stuff about modding and learning how to do different stuff. And then at the end, if you want to create like a fantasy league, or in our example, we're going to be doing a high school hoops. So we're going to be creating a fictional high school hoops. So if you want to do that at the end of the video, you can. So you'll be well on your way to knowing how to do all of that. With these videos, I'm gonna try to keep them short and sweet. Hopefully they're not over 10 minutes. I have kind of like some bullet notes of stuff that I want to cover, but if something else pops into my head, I may go on a tangent. Who knows? So I do apologize in advance if these videos are longer than they should be. But I mean, I'm not about to edit these videos. I'm a one-take Jake it all the way through, and then I'm gonna just add something in Sony Vegas, and then just upload it to YouTube. So that's how we gonna do it. So the very first thing that we're gonna talk about in this episode 1, the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna talk about modding a little bit. So the very first thing that I want to talk about with modding is the modding community. So what I want you guys to do, if you're not a part of NLSC, please join NLSC. This is the premier spot for where we go to discuss mods. This is where you're gonna find guides, tutorials, mods to download. All that stuff is NLSC. This is where all that stuff kind of starts at. It's not the only community out there, but it's kind of like the premier, like the go-to community for pretty much everyone. I mean, at least us in the US. I mean, China has their own like boards and forums and things like that too, but here in the US, we primarily use NLSC. So I would definitely say sign up here. If you're interested in jumping into modding, this is where you're gonna want to be. You want to be a part of this community here. I've been at NLSC for about, I've been on the site registered since like 2006, 2007. So I've been here a pretty long time. My game closed out. Another place that you can go to join up would be Discord. If you guys are familiar with Shady Mike's sliders, he creates sliders every year on YouTube. He basically created a Discord for NBA 2K modders, people that want to discuss sliders, rosters, all that type of stuff. This is another place that you can come to talk about mods in NBA 2K. This probably will be a little bit easier to get a hold of people, because obviously when you're on a forum, you have to wait till people to reply to your forum post. You can do PM, but it may be a little bit easier if you're looking for somebody directly and they're part of the Discord and a part of the forums. Discord may be a little bit quicker to get a hold of them. So I mean, it would be a good idea to be a part of both if I were you. All right, so now we got those out of the way, let's talk about the different types of mods, and then we're gonna basically cut the video there. Again, this is gonna be a quick video where we're just talking, but I think it's good to understand this stuff about modding before you actually start the mod, because once you understand it, you'll understand, like when you're starting editing files, you'll already understand what you can do and what you can't do already, because you'll know how the game is working and looking at different file types. So the very first thing I want you guys to understand are the different types of mods that you'll see in NBA 2K. This isn't a definite list. It's just my idea of I just came up with 3 types, and I kind of categorize them like this. So your first type is going to be your texture mod. So when we say modding in general, remember we're just talking about modification of game files. Basically, that's the definition of modding. That's what we're going to use. So anytime you change a game file from its original state, it's modified at that point. At that point, it becomes a mod, no matter how big, how small. So the very first type of mod is going to be your texture mods. Your texture mods are going to be pretty much anything that's game art. So for example, this jersey that I made is game art. I just made a jersey, put Harvard on it, put a Nike logo on it, put the numbers, put the logos, saved it as a picture, put it into the game, and then the game renders that picture / texture as a file, and then you can see it in game. So that's how that works. The court is just one big texture. It's a big texture that's put into the game, and then it's rendered on the floor file, and then you're able to play a game on that court. Another example would be the Friars and the Providence on the stanchion of the backboard of the rim. That's just a picture. All I did was save the picture, white text on it, saved it, put it back into the game loads it up. So that's how that works. That's what a texture file is. That's going to be probably your easiest type of mod that you can create in 2K, and that'll probably be the first type of mod that we make in these videos. Is going to be a texture mod because it's the easiest, and it's the easiest way to go in there and just mod something real quick to say, hey, I modded. Your second type of mod is going to be your model files. So modeling would be your player models on the floor. So you see your players running up and down the floor, dribbling, shooting. Those are going to be what we call cyber faces. These cyber faces are actually player models. People actually make cyber faces, as if you've seen on YouTube, you see Goku, Vegeta, Spider-Man, you see all these people with these random crazy characters playing NBA 2K. Those are just cyber faces that somebody created a model for and put them back into the game. Your model files are going to be created within Blender. Blender is a program where you can do modeling, 3D modeling. In this series, I'm not going to go over that, but I just want you guys to understand what it is, how it works in relations to mods. So there are some really talented people out there that do like cyber faces, as you guys seen, and all these people that end up doing a lot of work for 2K. A lot of modders do a lot of their work because they're really good at modding within Blender. So that's going to be your other types of mods are going to be your models. Another model would be the scores table. So you see how you got that scores table over there with the Continental logo on there? That whole scores table is just a model that's put into the arena, that's saved in the arena, and then loads up into the game. You can even edit and swap these models around once you start to learn how to modify the arenas a little bit. So those are going to be your models. The third type of mod is going to be your programming mods. When I say programming, these are going to be mods that do stuff on the back end that you can't really see. A good example would be we have a modder named Lua who's released a number of tools in the modding community that has allowed us to change a lot of stuff in the back end that we wouldn't be able to change if he didn't make the tools. A good example would be in NBA 2K, when your game loads up, it loads up this thing called a manifest file. If you ever flown on a plane, the manifest kind of shows all the people that's aboard. This basically does the same thing for 2K. This manifest file has every single file that 2K needs to load up. What Lua did was he created a program that interjects into this manifest that says, okay, 2K, you can load up everything on the manifest, but I also want you to look at this modding folder and load up those files too. If he didn't create that program, 2K would only load stuff off the manifest, and I wouldn't be able to get over 100 teams in my college mod because I had to add new files because I actually ran out of teams in NBA 2K. I ran out of team numbers. So by him making that mod, basically allowed me to add my own different team numbers for a bunch of different teams, and then 2K still saw these files and still loaded them up. So that's what's going to be considered on the programming end. And again, you'll have mods that are basically doing all three. For example, the scoreboard here. This scoreboard has a texture, which is the ESPN, the colors and all that stuff. That's the texture, that's the picture. Then you have the programming, which the programming allows the guy Bongo that created this scoreboard, it allowed him to put the wording in different locations on the screen. And then you have the actual model, which is the actual square of the actual scoreboard. So there's mods that are doing all three in one. But those are going to be kind of like your three different types of mods that you'll have in NBA 2K. Where are you on time? So we're at 10 minutes. So I'm gonna cut the video there. What I will try to do with these videos, I'm going to try to timestamp them. Again, I'm following a little bit of an agenda, but like I said, I may go off on a tangent here and there, but I do have something that I want to talk about each video. This video was I want to talk about, you know, joining a community and also the different types of mods, because once you understand the different types of mods, once we start modding, it'll make a lot more sense. Again, I'll timestamp them. I'll accurately try to title these videos, but again, I'm not doing any editing. I'm just recording, uploading. We're gonna knock these boys out, but I promise they won't be like filled with a bunch of filler to where it's like I just watched 10 minutes of video and didn't learn anything. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share these videos if they help. Again, if you have some ideas of what you're thinking about making, put those in the comments. I'll take a look at those as well. Maybe I can have some ideas when we start to get through these videos. But again, the primary point of this video series is going to be to create like our first, we're going to say an overhaul mod, but in this case it's going to be kind of like a high school hoops, and I'll provide you with all the files that you need. I'll show you where to get all the tools, all that stuff. It will require a little bit of extra knowledge as far as like on the texture side of things, like for Photoshop or if you use GIMP, but it's going to be pretty easy enough to where somebody can just jump in and just do some edits and do some changing and things like that. So again, I'm about to get out of here. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Let's get the series kicked off. Peace.